Alright, here's my response. Let me get this thing right. Alright, there we go. Okay. I wish I could get it larger, but I don't know. I'm not much of a computer whiz. So, but anyway, hello everybody. Yeah, this is a response to this whole hoopla about, believing in God, whether who has proof and why atheist doesn't believe and this, that, and the other, and who has the burden of proof. This is what I think. This is my personal perspective. I'm not going to get riled up. I think it's the burden of proof. If you really examine it for what it is, okay, I think the burden of proof goes on both sides. Because you say, and I say that because you have to look at the position of both sides. I'm going to say that again. You have to look at the position of both sides, Christian and atheist. Because you're not just talking in a coffee shop by yourselves in some cubicle. Okay? You're talking on YouTube, and people are hitting this thing like crazy. Because now it does, burden of proof comes on both sides. So, yes, Mr. Dark hair, glasses, the burden of proof now comes on both sides. If you were just talking between you and him, then the burden of proof wouldn't come on just one side. Because you already made your mind up, and basically he's trying to convince you. That would be the scenario. But now the scenario has changed. So, with all that, scientifical, elaboration of, your your ideology, whatever you want to call it, whatever, now it's done stepped up a level, especially since I got on here now. So anyway, I'm just joking. No, for real though. Now the situation has changed. The burden of proof does come on both parties. Because now, what I think has the scenario has changed because now you're being seen everywhere. Okay, you're on YouTube. So now the burden of proof does come on both parts. Now, if you were talking about, from the position that initially you were addressing, Mr. Dark hair with glasses, yeah, I can see. But like I said, you're not just talking to each other over the phone. You're now exposing the situation to more than one person. So yes, the burden of proof comes on both sides. And why, you say? Why? Why? Because you got people watching who are believers and non-believers and those who are in between. That's why. Well, that's their choosing, you say. Well, exactly. Exactly. If you really do the thinking and really dissect it bit by bit, if you know anything about Christianity and the belief in Christianity and religion, for what its philosophy, its truest meaning is, not for what your experience with somebody, oh, he used to be a Christian, or she used to be a Christian, and they do this and they do that. That's not really a Christian then. If you know what really a Christian is, then you would understand that from the truest essence of what that means to be a Christian and to believe in God, those two are synonymous, you would understand my point. So, like I said, this has now become a much larger, situation than just you two going back and forth. Burden of proof is on both halves. Burden of proof is on Christians to say, hey, this is my reasoning for believing in a God or believing a God. And atheists, the burden of proof is on your part to say, hey, this is why we don't believe, because you don't have evidence. Okay, your evidence is in the pudding. It's in the Bible. Prophecies that have been prophesied by those who wrote the Bible. They were inspired by God, told to by angels, by God himself, or whatever. Prophecies that came true. And still are coming true today and later in the future. So you can, if you really read the Bible, whether you believe it or not, be neutral, be honest, be open, and prove every account that has taken place in the Bible. Go to the Bureau of Statistics or whatever it's called, and do your research, because it's going to take you some time. So you're going to Might want to, open up your schedule a little bit, but do your research and come back to me and respond. And just, I'm trying to be reasonable, but I find some of the cynicism and the sarcasm and some of the response contradictory to, you know, regardless of religious, moral beliefs, or for that matter, moral beliefs in general. So I'm kind of, they say mirror the person you're talking to. Well, I'm going to mirror you. But, and you say whatever you want. But nonetheless, like I said, we're not all perfect. So anyhow, you do your research and you'll find that every account in the Bible is accurate. Now, as well as I believe, and I don't know what reference you would look at, but I don't need any other references in the Bible because that's my belief. That'd be contradicting myself if I had to go check some historical account other than the Bible. So right there, that would be admitting I fail, which I think you fail, Mr. Dark hair with glasses, since you were so set on proving your point about the difference in certain atheists. Well, like I said before, your atheist is an atheist. I don't care if you're weak or strong, you still disbelieve. I'm not going to get into, specifics, The degree of an atheist is relevant to a degree of a child molester. He's still a child molester. I don't care how many kids you molested. You're still a child molester. End of story. So you fail. So, now getting back to being polite. So provide me those responses as you get them, and once you've done the research, and provide me, show me where in the Bible that it's incorrect on any of the prophecies and so forth, and provide substantial proof of that. Okay, because I don't think there is. I don't think there is anything that's tried to. I mean, they try to find all kinds of things, and it's funny that Christianity is the most argumentative, controversial religious subject there is. No, nobody's attacking, Muslims in the Quran. Nobody's attacking Buddhists, and their belief in the Taoisms and all these other, Chinese belief and all these other, whatever beliefs. No, it's funny how Christianity is the most attacked religion there is. That's odd, given the fact that it was already prophesied that it would be attacked like this. So anyway, yeah, so you're going to have a lot of research to do. Disprove to me that the prophecies that have been written and the accounts that have been written in the Bible are incorrect, inaccurate. Prove it to me. Because the scientists and researchers have already agreed, that this is the most accurate account. The Bible is the most accurate account. Now, the substance of whether there's a God and that there was Jesus Christ and this, that, and the other, and that he could do what he did, well, I don't think they had photographs back in those days. So it's not like they're going to take or film Jesus pouring water into wine. Especially in modern times. And the more we get further in the future, you're going to see people disbelieve. That's already foretold, folks. It was already foretold. Okay? And it's easier to disbelieve than to believe. Okay? If Columbus was, or whoever it was, I don't think it was actually Columbus, I think it was somebody else before Columbus sailed the world, but Columbus had not came back and told the world, oh, the world is actually round. Well, that's funny, since they had no way of actually telling that. They didn't have space travel. So anyway, but I'm not going to go on too far in history and get all specific. But point being, our point is the issue of religion and the belief in God and the existence of God. To have a religion, there has to be some higher power. Now, that still does not, support the reasoning for a belief, or it does support the reasoning for the existence of God. But I can draw on one part is some of the things that have been prophesied. Now, like I said, these guys, weren't psychics. Or they said Moses was a magician. That's one heck of a magician to turn night into day and, you know, make frogs fly from the sky. And yeah, they can have all these scientific explanations, but how can you have that? How would it? That's would be one heck of a coincidence. This guy says this, and then every time he says something, it happens. Like, what did he go get the, Jerusalem almanac, weather almanac? I don't think so. Okay, come on. He made many prophecies, and they all came to fruition. Not just with Moses, also all through the Bible. Now, how is that possible? So the burden of proof is on you, atheists. Prove to us that these accounts did not take place. Because now it is on both sides. Thank you.